A lot of people will tell you that you need a 600cc or something around those lines as a starter bike. They'll tell you that you'll grow out of your lightweight sport bike way too quickly. They'll tell you that a lightweight sport bike is not really a sport bike, that it's too small, that it doesn't have enough power, that it's not capable and it's not fun. Well, I'm here to tell you that if you can't have fun on one of these things, you're not trying hard enough. This Ninja 400 is about the maximum before it really gets silly for a learner bike. Out on the road, it shows up a lot of the things that people said were lacking in the Ninja 300 have come across to this new model. It's got plenty of highway power, plenty of overtaking power, and it feels very much like a big bike. At 166 kilos wet, it's a really light big bike, and with that manageable power, that low seat height and that low weight, this is a really forgiving bike for new riders. Not only that, but experienced riders are going to find that this bike is a ridiculous amount of fun. When you get out in the canyon roads and hit the twisties, it's hard to imagine that any other bigger bike would be more fun to ride when the going gets tough. If carving corners out on public roads is your thing, it's difficult to use all of the power and all of the capacity of a 1000cc superbike. Even a 600 starts to get a bit untidy. But if you want to stay on the right side of the law and have an enormous amount of fun, then a bike about this size is going to do the job. And it's going to take a lot for you to feel like you've run out of bike or outgrown this thing. As someone that's ridden leader bikes all his life, but now races a Ninja 300, I can tell you that this Ninja 400 is the bike that you'll enjoy for a really long time. I can even see a lot of people who have seasoned and grown up with sport bikes and 600s and leader bikes who want to come back to something smaller for insurance reasons because they're just sick of riding in traffic on something that's heavy and unmanageable, and they're going to come back to a bike like this and they're going to feel really good about it. It's got a lot of big bike features. It's got 41mm forks. It's got a 110 front tire and a 150 rear. It's got a really comfortable riding position. Styling wise, the Ninja 400 ties easily into the rest of the Kawasaki Ninja lineup. It looks like a full-size sport bike, and there'll be plenty of people that are fooled by its appearance. It's got the performance to back it up as well. And after a day bashing this thing around Sonoma Raceway, I can tell you that it's an agile, communicative, and fun bike. It's got an enormous amount of mid-range for its engine size. It's got about 45 horsepower and it pulls from about 6,000 revs really strongly and really cleanly. It's a forgiving bike, it's easy to ride. That assist and slipper clutch is especially easy for a newer rider. That feature is also going to be handy for people that like to go a bit harder and races. And for me, I've really enjoyed coming in hot, smashing it down gears and not having to worry about locking up the rear end and tossing myself off the high side. Whether you're an experienced rider, a wannabe racer, or a newbie that's really trying to get their foothold in the sport, this sort of bike is the one that's going to drag you forward for a long, long time to come. I've got a bit of a problem myself because next season I'm going to be racing against these bikes in the CSBK lightweight sport bike class, and it's $61.99 for the ABS model and $57.99 without ABS. I've got a bit of a convincing job to do on my wife. For Canada Motor Guide and autotrader.ca, I'm Jacob Black, and I got to buy my wife some flowers.